Marcus and Malik Carter hadn't been home in almost 7 years. Twin brothers, identical down to the scar on their jawlines, though one wore it on the left, the other on the right. Both men had seen more of the world than most: war zones, covert missions, and the dark corners of human cruelty. But today, they were just coming home to see their mother. They parked their matte black pickup truck outside their old family home on Willow Street. The neighborhood hadn't changed much: peeling paint, broken mailboxes, and silence that carried too much history. Still smells like hot asphalt and trouble, Malik muttered. Marcus smirked. Yeah, but it's home. Their mother, Evelyn Carter, rushed out to greet them, her eyes wet with pride. She didn't know much about what her sons did in the military, just that they were special forces. She never asked details, and they never offered any, but peace has a way of drawing trouble, especially for men who've spent their lives in war. It started in the local diner. The twins stopped by for lunch, dressed casually, hoodies and jeans, no signs of their past lives. A group of locals at the corner table, 5 men in denim jackets with iron cross riders stitched on the back, started whispering. Everyone in town knew the type, a small racist gang that hid behind flags and slogans, terrorizing anyone who didn't belong. When Marcus paid for the meal, the waitress gave him a hesitant look. Be careful out there, she whispered. He nodded but didn't ask why. Outside, as the twins walked toward their truck, they saw it. Go back where you came from. Spray painted across the side panel in thick white paint. Malik sighed. Guess the locals missed us. Marcus ran his finger through the wet paint. Looks fresh. A voice called out from behind them. Well, look who crawled back to town, sneered Randy Cobb, leader of the Iron Cross Riders. Didn't think your kind would have the nerve. The twins said nothing. Cat got your tongue? Randy taunted, stepping closer. Malik turned to face him. His tone was calm, almost too calm. You've got 5 seconds to walk away, friend. Randy laughed. Or what? You gonna call the cops? Marcus smiled faintly. Nah. We are the cops, in a sense. They left without another word. But the message was clear. This wasn't over. That night, the twins went for a drive to clear their heads. The air was thick, moonless. A truck's headlights suddenly appeared in their rearview mirror, too close, too bright. Malik slowed down. We got company. Before they could react, 2 more trucks boxed them in. A tire iron smashed against the window. The twins were dragged out and beaten, taunted with racial slurs and threats. Randy stood over them, spitting tobacco juice onto the dirt. Bet you city boys thought you could walk around like you own the place. Marcus coughed, blood on his lip, but smiled. You sure you want to do this, Randy? Oh, I'm sure, Randy growled. Then he made the mistake of turning his back. Malik moved first. In one smooth motion, he swept Randy's legs and rolled onto his feet. Marcus disarmed another thug with a twist that snapped bone. Within seconds, the twins transformed, calm, efficient, lethal. A gang member swung a bat. Marcus caught it midair and shoved it into the man's gut. Malik kicked another into the hood of his own truck. The entire fight lasted less than 30 seconds. When the dust settled, the gang was sprawled across the dirt, moaning in pain. Randy tried to crawl away, but Malik grabbed his collar and whispered in his ear, You picked the wrong brothers. They left the gang alive, but broken, humiliated, and terrified. By morning, the town was buzzing. Rumors flew, how the Carter twins had taken on 10 men and walked away untouched. The sheriff, an old friend of their late father, showed up at the Carter house. Boys, whatever happened last night, I didn't see it, he said quietly. Appreciate that, Marcus replied, but word reached higher up the chain. The Iron Cross Riders weren't just local, they had connections in other towns. Retaliation was coming. 3 nights later, their mother's house was set ablaze. The twins barely got her out in time. Flames reflected in their eyes: rage, grief, control. They knew what had to be done. They loaded their old gear. Tactical vests. Suppressors. Night vision goggles. Things they swore they'd never use again. Malik whispered, No more running. Marcus nodded. Let's end it. Under the cover of darkness, they hunted. Silent. Precise. Ghosts in their own hometown. 1 by 1, they dismantled the riders' operation, cutting power, slashing tires, sabotaging trucks. By dawn, the gang's compound was a smoldering ruin. Not a single life lost, but every weapon, every stash, every symbol of hate destroyed. When the sheriff arrived with backup, all he found were gang members zip-tied and beaten, with justice served spray-painted across the wall. The twins stood on the hill above, watching the sunrise. You think it's over? Malik asked. Marcus exhaled. No. Hate doesn't die easy. But now they know what happens when it spreads. They turned and walked toward the horizon, 2 shadows merging into one. Soldiers. Brothers. Legends. Months later, a mysterious training program appeared in the city, funded anonymously, teaching at-risk youth self-defense, discipline, and unity. Its founders were never officially named, But every student swore they once saw two men in hoodies watching from the back, identical smiles on their faces, the Carter twins, heroes in the shadows. Protectors of their own. Next part, the Carters had built something good. Their new foundation, Project Sentinel, had spread across 3 cities, helping young people find purpose, discipline, and strength through self-defense and leadership programs. Marcus had taken the lead in teaching tactics and combat ethics. Malik handled the counseling side, helping kids deal with trauma and rage. It found peace, or at least the closest thing to it. Then one morning, Malik noticed an unmarked black SUV parked near the training facility. It was there again the next day. And the next. Marcus didn't like it. Gov types, he muttered. They've been watching us since the writer's mess. Malik frowned. Maybe. Or maybe it's something else. They were both right. That night, Marcus received a message from a blocked number. No text, no call, just a video. He played it. The footage showed a military compound under siege, smoke, alarms, men screaming. Then the camera panned to a masked figure dragging someone across the ground, and there, in the background, a black tactical patch with a white serpent symbol. The same insignia from their last classified mission. Marcus froze. Serpent unit, he whispered. Malik looked up. That's impossible. We burned that op. They were gone. Apparently not. The message ended with a single line of text, they're coming for you. 3 days later, Malik was ambushed on his way home. 2 SUVs boxed him in on a deserted road. Masked men stepped out, organized, silent, professional. Not local thugs. Operators. Malik fought like a storm, breaking arms, disarming guns, but a tranquilizer dart caught him in the neck. He went down, his last sight a white serpent patch on someone's shoulder. When Marcus arrived minutes later, all he found was Malik's phone, cracked and buzzing on the ground. Marcus knew exactly what to do. He went home, opened a false wall in the basement, and pulled out a sealed black case marked Echo OPS's redline. Inside, encrypted maps, forged IDs, burner phones, and a list of safe houses. Malik had been taken. They were going after him through official channels, likely military intelligence or something darker. Marcus whispered to himself, "You want a war? You just got one." He tracked Malik's GPS tag, a failsafe implant from their old Spec Ops days, to a decommissioned airfield outside Houston. What he found there made his blood run cold. Inside the hangar, he saw a massive operation, private soldiers, black helicopters, and data terminals running facial recognition scans. They weren't just after the twins. They were hunting every surviving member of Project Hydra, the secret elite commando program the Carters once belonged to. A man stepped out of the shadows, tall, lean, with ice blue eyes. Long time, Marcus. Marcus stiffened. Colonel Rourke. Rourke smiled. Thought I'd never see my best soldier again. Too bad your brother doesn't share your loyalty. Marcus clenched his fists. Where is he? Rourke stepped aside, revealing Malik strapped to a metal chair, drugged, bruised, but alive. Your brother's a liability, Rourke continued. He saw things he shouldn't have. And you're the only one who can stop him, or join him. Marcus' voice turned cold. You made us killers. We chose to be protectors. That's the difference. Rourke smirked. Then protect him. And then, the alarms blared. Malik had broken free. Chaos erupted. Malik fought like a wounded lion, tearing through guards. Marcus joined in, 2 halves of a single storm. Years of synchronized combat training turned the hangar into a blur of fists, bullets, and precision. Rourke retreated to a helicopter, yelling into his comms, activate Phase 2. Burn the evidence. Explosives armed around the base began to tick. Marcus yelled, Malik, we're out of time. But Malik wasn't leaving. He grabbed Rourke's flight logbook, classified intel about Serpent Unit's operations worldwide. Go. Malik shouted. I'll cover you. Marcus hesitated, then nodded. You better come back, brother. Malik smiled weakly. When have I ever let you down? He tossed Marcus the logbook just as the base exploded behind him. Days later, Marcus woke up in a safe house. The explosion had been on every news channel, labeled as a terrorist training camp incident. No mention of Rourke. No mention of Malik. He opened the logbook. Inside were lists of secret missions, missing soldiers, and one final line written in Malik's handwriting. If you're reading this, I'm alive. Follow the trail. Find the black serpent. Marcus closed the book. His jaw set. Then that's what I'll do. A month later, rumors began to spread through the underground networks of a lone man taking down corrupt officers, private militias, and black market arms dealers. No one knew his name. But they all whispered the same thing. The Carter twins are still out there, and they're coming. Marcus Carter had become a ghost. No calls, no home, no official record. Just a mission, find Malik and burn Serpent Unit to the ground. Using Malik's logbook, Marcus traced a web of arms deals, shell companies, and mercenary groups, all leading to one name. The Black Serpent Initiative, IT wasn't a unit anymore. IT was an empire, built on private warfare, trafficking, and government manipulation. Everywhere he went, Marcus found whispers of a shadowy commander who had risen from the ashes of Rourke's death. A man known only as Viper. Then, in a dusty Moroccan market, Marcus heard the words that made his heart stop cold. Viper's second in command, he's American. Big guy. Scar on his jaw. Marcus froze. Say that again, he demanded. The informant swallowed nervously. Yeah, calls himself Ghost. Real dangerous. Looks a bit like you, actually. Marcus's blood ran cold to Malik. A week later, Marcus infiltrated a serpent compound hidden under an abandoned shipping port in Tangier. Dozens of guards. Heavy security, and there, on a large screen in the command room, Malik Carter, alive, wearing tactical black and giving orders. Marcus watched in disbelief. His brother, once a soldier of honor, now leading mercenaries under the Serpent banner. He listened to the intercepted comms. Viper wants the next shipment ready. No mistakes this time. Yes, Commander Ghost. Marcus whispered under his breath. What did they do to you, Malik? He had two choices, extract or confront. He chose the latter. That night, Marcus broke into the inner base, neutralizing guards with silent precision. He finally found Malik in a steel-lined office, staring at mission maps. Nice setup, Marcus said, stepping from the shadows. Malik didn't even flinch. I was wondering when you'd come. 8 months, Marcus said. 8 months of chasing ghosts, and it turns out the ghost is you. Malik turned, his eyes colder than ever. You think you know what's going on? Rourke was just the surface. Serpent didn't die with him, it evolved. I had to join them to destroy them from inside. Marcus's jaw tightened. Is that what this is? Undercover work? Because from out there, it looks like you're running the show. Malik stepped closer. I've seen what they're planning, Marcus. They're building an army, private AI drones, biochemical weapons, and blackmail on world leaders. I had to get close. Marcus hesitated, searching his brother's eyes. For a moment, he saw the old Malik, the one who protected the weak, who laughed through chaos. Then Malik whispered, but they're on to me. Viper knows. Before Marcus could respond, the lights died. Red alarms screamed. Intruder detected. Malik grabbed Marcus's arm. Too late, they're here. The compound exploded into chaos. Gunfire. Sirens. The twins moved like synchronized lightning, back to back, clearing hallways and cutting through trained killers. For the first time in years, they fought together, and no words. No hesitation. Just instinct. Malik tossed Marcus a rifle. You still shoot left-handed? Marcus grinned. Only when I'm bored. They breached the main hangar, hundreds of containers marked with the Serpent insignia. Inside were drones, toxin samples, and encrypted servers. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the speakers. Welcome back, boys. Viper, he appeared on a catwalk above, face hidden behind a black mask. I should thank you, Carter brothers. Without you, Serpent would have never been reborn. Marcus aimed up. You're Rourke's ghost? Viper laughed. Rourke was my student. You were his tools. But I am the architect. Project Hydra was my experiment, and you two were my greatest creation. Malik froze. What are you talking about? You were never recruited. You were bred. Genetically enhanced from classified DNA sequencing. Carter twins, perfect soldiers designed to adapt, outlast, and obey. Marcus's hands trembled. That's a lie. Is it? Viper mocked. Your reflexes, your pain tolerance, your mirrored instincts, they weren't training. They were programming. The twins stood in stunned silence as Viper pressed a detonator. Goodbye, soldiers. The base erupted. Explosions tore through the walls. Marcus and Malik dove for cover, dodging debris and fire. Malik hacked into a terminal, shouting over the noise, if we shut down the drone uplink, we can end Serpent for good. Marcus covered him, laying down suppressive fire. With seconds left, Malik entered an override command. System lock initiated. Serpent control offline. Viper screamed from the upper level, firing wildly. Malik took a bullet to the shoulder but didn't stop. Marcus fired back. One perfect shot. Viper fell, mask shattering, revealing a familiar face. Colonel Rourke. Marcus stared, stunned. But you? Rourke coughed blood, smirking. You never understood. The real war isn't out there. It's in you. And then he died. The base collapsed behind them as dawn broke over the desert. Malik limped beside Marcus, clutching his arm. Think it's over? Malik asked. Marcus looked at the rising sun. Not even close. Serpent might be dead, but whoever funded it, still out there. Malik smirked weakly. Then we hunt them. Marcus nodded. Together. They walked into the light, two brothers against the world. Months later, reports surfaced of mysterious raids across continents, drug lords vanishing, corrupt generals exposed, human traffickers arrested, always the same rumor. 2 men, no flags, no names. Saw a child at one of Project Sentinel's centers asked Evelyn Carter, "Miss Evelyn, are your sons ever coming back?" She smiled softly. "They never left, sweetheart. They're just out there, making the world a little safer. We weren't born soldiers. We were made. But what we do with that, that's our choice." Marcus Carter. Perfect. Now we step into part 4, the global-scale continuation of the Carter saga. This one opens the world up: politics, betrayal, espionage, and a new enemy that operates beyond nations. It's bigger, darker, and far more personal. The world believed the Carter twins were dead. Officially, the explosion in Tangier had erased all records of their existence. Unofficially, Marcus and Malik were alive, off-grid, operating as freelance tacticians under new aliases. They'd taken down Serpent's remaining cells across Europe, but every victory led to one name whispered in the dark: Aurelian. No files. No photos, just rumors of a global corporate alliance that controlled governments, armies, and black market warfare, the same network that had funded Serpent Unit, and now, the twins were hunting its shadow. Zurich was their first lead: Aurelian Bank. A pristine facade masking the world's dirtiest money. Malik had traced encrypted fund transfers that linked Serpent's chemical weapons to the bank's philanthropy accounts. They went in disguised as private security consultants. Marcus played the silent bodyguard, Malik the logistics expert. Inside, they found more than numbers. Behind a false server wall, Marcus uncovered data logs showing shipments labeled Hydra legacy assets. Malik frowned. Hydra. That was our program's code name. Marcus scrolled further. Each file contained names. Soldiers. Scientists. Subjects. Their own genetic profiles were there: birthdates, blood data, behavioral notes, and something new: Project Phoenix, Stage 2, successors initiated. Malik's voice turned low. "They're making more of us." That night, as they exfiltrated across Lake Zurich, they were ambushed. Drones swarmed above the water, sleek, silent, AI-controlled. Marcus barked, "EMP grenades, now." Malik tossed 2. The sky exploded in blue static, and the drones crashed like falling meteors, but it was too late. A sniper round grazed Marcus's shoulder, military precision. Across the lake stood a woman in tactical armor, holding a custom rifle. She removed her mask. Her face was shockingly familiar. "Who the hell?" Marcus began. She smiled faintly. "You don't recognize me? I'm Tessa Carter." Malik froze. "Our sister died in childbirth." Tessa shook her head. "That's what they told you." Tessa led them to an abandoned NATO bunker deep in the Alps. There, the truth unraveled like a nightmare. She wasn't a twin, she was a clone, a perfected genetic version from the Hydra project. The scientists had experimented on multiple embryos, creating enhanced humans for defensive warfare evolution. "You two were the prototypes," Tessa explained. "I was phase 2. The perfect hybrid of both your genetic codes." Malik's voice was heavy. "So Aurelian owns you?" Tessa's gaze hardened, boned. Past tense. "I escaped. But they're building an army now, dozens like me, stronger, faster, no conscience. The Phoenix generation." Marcus clenched his fists. "Then we end them. All of them." Tessa handed over a drive. "You'll need this. It's not just Aurelian, it's every power broker who signed off on Hydra, defense contractors, senators, CEOs. The system itself." The data led them to London, where Aurelian's leadership was meeting under the guise of an international tech summit. Inside the glass fortress of Helix Tower, they discovered Aurelian's Central Intelligence Hub, an AI system named Orion designed to predict and manipulate global conflicts for profit. Marcus stared at the holographic world map blinking red with forecasted war zones. "They're selling wars before they happen." Malik loaded a virus into the mainframe. "Then let's crash the market." Just as they activated the sequence, armed guards stormed in. Aurelian's elite security. Leading them was Director Mason Hale, a former CIA strategist, and the true architect behind both Hydra and Serpent. "You two have done well," Hale said. "But you can't stop evolution. The world needs controlled chaos. You're proof of that." Marcus glared. "We're proof that monsters can change." Hale smirked, "Then die as heroes." The next 10 minutes were a blur of bullets, fire, and fury. Tessa took sniper overwatch while the twins fought their way through corridors of reinforced steel. Malik hacked Orion's main core, setting it to self-destruct. 2 minutes, he shouted. Marcus shot his way up to the control deck where Hale tried to escape via helicopter. They fought brutally, hand to hand, blade to blade. Hale sneered, "You're just a weapon that forgot its trigger." Marcus slammed him against the glass wall, "Then call this the recoil." He threw Hale through the window, the man falling into the inferno below. As alarms blared, Tessa's voice crackled through comms, "Extraction point Alpha, now." The three escaped just as the tower erupted into a column of fire, lighting up the London skyline. Weeks later, global news outlets reported unexplained financial collapse across dozens of secret defense accounts. Aurelian was exposed, names leaked, operations halted, but Marcus wasn't satisfied. For every corporation that fell, 2 more rose. The Hydra bloodline had spread, an ideology, not just a program. Malik stared at the horizon. So what now? We keep running? Marcus looked at Tessa. No. We start hunting. Tessa nodded. Then we'll need an army. Marcus smiled faintly. We already have one. Behind them, dozens of recruits, former victims, ex-soldiers, orphans from war, trained in a secluded valley under the Sentinel banner. They were building a movement. Not for vengeance, but justice. A year later, satellite images showed a secret facility hidden deep in the Arctic. Inside, rows of cryogenic pods glowed blue, each containing a sleeping Phoenix soldier. And on a terminal screen, a single message flickered to life. Project Phoenix. Phase 3 activation approved. Primary targets. The Carter twins. Somewhere in the shadows, a woman watched the screen, her eyes burning gold. Let the hunt begin. We were made to be soldiers. But we chose to be something more, shadows that fight for the light. Malik Cart.